You mentioned that you had reached out to a number of organizations
Oh
for
man.
um allyship, for anything, any kind of support from the New York diaspora. And how was that, sir?
Mm, I would say again, like I told y'all guys, I'm coming from the space of being a Pan African. You grew up in New York, especially during that era. You saw the medallions everywhere on the street corners. You saw the pics with the black fists. I like to say, I'm from that era where we saw all the Simpson T-shirts where they had dreads and they were black. Even the Looney Tunes, they had black Looney Tunes, right? The shirts. And so all we understood was that if you was black, you was our sister and you was our brother. And so when it came time to advocate in this space, call me naive, um, and I would admit that I was. I never imagined that I was going to get into this fight and my biggest opposition was going to come from the diaspora and others that look like me and others that are me. I thought immediately, how am I going to have to fight? How am I going to fight this white devil? We've seen his tools and his tricks of the trade throughout history. I was preparing myself to fight the white supremacists and have to physically, possibly, and mentally outsmart this devil. And that I haven't even gotten to that point yet. We haven't gotten
Mm.
to that point yet. If y'all old school and y'all played the Super Mario Brothers games, we have not gotten to the real castle. My
Mhm.
princess is still in another castle. I'm beating the underlings. We haven't gotten even to the big show yet. And so I'm saying that to say I was highly disappointed at the opposition, highly disappointed at where the opposition was coming from. And so I reached out to a number of organizations in the early days of this because one of the things that we were told explicitly and directly when we attempted to explain to the legislators, hey, there's a way to get reparations right. Matter of fact, there's a way to get policies right that we're talking about we need, whether we're talking about housing or jobs or things above and beyond DEI and affirmative action. There's a way to do it. We have a
Wait,
way.
wait, don't go
Oh,
there yet.
okay.
I
I'm
didn't
sorry.
get there
I'm
yet.
sorry. I'm
Whoa,
sorry. I'm
whoa,
sorry. I'm
whoa,
sorry.
whoa, don't
Let
get
me reel it
there
back.
yet.
Let me reel it back. Let me
Oh.
reel it back. So let me just fix. So
But I want to know
yeah,
specifically
yes,
the organizations that you reached out to.
yes. So and I brought that up, but let me just say what I was going to say, but not the whole kit and caboodle.
Okay, okay.
Right? So what I was saying is that when we advocated and told them, hey, there's a way for us to get the policies that we need and we deserve, we were told explicitly and directly that the Afro-Caribbean politicians would not support it, meaning reparations, unless they and their constituents were allowed to get a piece. And something just didn't vibe with me about that. I really believed that they were lying, right? I was like, why would they try to lie? Why would they try to pit us against this other group? And so I said, you know what? Let me reach out on my own. Even if they're hostile, even if they say no or whatever, let's just find out who's who. If you're telling me this is the reality, I want to find out for myself. And so here is you told me to compile a list earlier today. I have that list.
Yes, I
Um,
did.
yes, I couldn't go right now I have a list of the top 15. So I'll do that. Um,
15 is so I want you to understand. I want everybody to understand. You said the top 15, which
15.
means you reached out to a lot more than
Not
15.
more
But
than
this
50.
is just
Yes.
all you brought today. So
Yes.
how many in total? Just a range,
Oh,
you don't have to give me an exact number, but like just a range of how many organizations. And you've already let us know that you are the only one for the freedmen. So How many black organizations did you reach out to?
I want to say we're probably in the realm of about 50. So 50. Cause and it was so what was so surprising about it is that again, in this space, in the beginning, we weren't being told that we were xenophobic yet, right? But as after we pushed, we were told that we were xenophobic. But in my mind, I'm like, are y'all insane? There's 50 organizations that I reached out to that don't fight for us at all, that we are not a part of, that we can't even join.
And what are those 15 organizations that you
Here
got
go to
there?
15 organizations. The Caribbean Equality Project,
Mm.
the Caribbean American Restaurant Association, the Caribbean American Chamber of Commerce, Caribbean, Caribbean American Bar Association, Caribbean American Center of New York, Caribbean Cultural Center African Diaspora Institute, the Barbados Cancer Association. I started getting desperate. I was going, let me just find anybody because somebody got to say yes. Caribbean American Medical and Scientific Association, the African Services Committee, the Sauti Yetu Center for African Women and Families, the African Communities Together organization, Africa Center, African Refuge, and one of my favorites, Association des Sénégalais d'Amérique. None. Absolutely none. Zero. Return the email in courtesy or return the phone call in courtesy. And the email, which I still have, if we need to ever post that receipt, was specifically telling them, hey, I was told that you would not support reparations for American freedmen, for Foundation Black Americans, if you could not get a peace. I know they bugging. So can you reach out to me to tell me in what ways can we work together so we could fix this slander and unite to get this thing done for our families in the same way we fought for things for your families? Not a one, not a soul. Zero have ever reached out from then to this day.
So I'm gonna ask you a question that probably no one's ever gonna ask you. How did that make you feel?
Oh, that's a good question
Because I know
it
how I feel
right.
right now.
So in today, right? If you ask me in 2025, if I did that in 2025, how would I feel? And this might even be sad to say, but at this point, I would have no feelings, right? Because at this
But
point,
back then,
right, I'm gonna get to that. Because right now, maybe I have been numb or expect nothing from anyone. But then at that time, right? At that time,
when you just finished putting away your medallion, not because you didn't like it anymore,
right?
but because it's just out of style now. You know what I mean? You still would rock it if everybody else was rocking it. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
But so you still got your medallion. You still wearing your
Mm,
red, black, and green shirts and stuff. And you you
mm.
did you have that, like, did you, like me, have that red, black, and green American flag?
Oh, come on. Now you bringing up old. Why
Right?
you talk? Why you talking about old shit?
I
Excuse
because
my
I
language. I
just
don't know if
want
I can
people
curse
to
on here.
go right ahead. Here's
Okay.
the thing. I just want people to understand that
Mm,
we're not coming from a place of hate. A lot of what we're doing is from a place of hurt and the realization that we're on our own.
Man,
We're on our own. It's
yes.
just, it's no tea, no shade, no hate, no nothing, no malice. We're
Yes.
on our own.